welcome to Beyond the Brief, presented by iPulse. I'm Mariana Schaefer.
And I'm Mickey Freeman. Our first story may seem a bit derogatory at first. The subject of vaginas is something that we don't really often talk about.
It certainly isn't, but Ricky and I both had the chance to attend the annual performance of the Vagina Monologues held by Lynn students and staff, which raised money to end violence against women. And I actually really enjoyed it. What about you? You seemed a little bit confused every time I looked over in the audience. I saw you like...
No, I wasn't confused. I just thought it was interesting seeing people you know being so enthused about the womanhood and the vaginas on stage, and more importantly, though, the story itself highlighted human right violations. And we let one of the cast members, Sophia Barrett, tell us more about it.
On a Sunday, Friday afternoon, we headed to the AG Theater in the International Building to get a feel on how the actresses in the Vagina Monologues felt about the rewarding experience that it offered. What's your name and year?
My name is Katie Welch, and I'm a junior.
Kayla Galladay, and I am a junior.
Jen Morano, and I'm a junior at Lynn University.
Stacy Wax, I'm a freshman.
Is this your first year involved in the Vagina Monologues?
No, this is my third year.
I was in the Vagina Monologues last year, and then this is my second year.
Yes, first time ever.
It is not. It is my third year involved.
What was it like getting comfortable with the material?
Well, I didn't have a lot to learn, but I was really excited to be a part of it because I've heard about so many colleges doing it, so I wanted to do it.
It's kind of embarrassing at first, but then you know you're doing it for a good cause. You're spreading the word of everything we're trying to say, from sex to relationships to good and the bad, the ugly.
I'm pretty much comfortable. For my freshman year, it was a lot of fun. I got to be introduced to this, and it's for a great cause, so I like it.
Doing it the past 2 years, it's something that I'm used to now, so it's just something you have to kind of familiarize yourself with.
We also caught up with the director of the monologues, Annie Weaver, to discuss her role in the production. At first, was it hard to get comfortable with the material, and are you now?
Yeah, actually the first time I was ever exposed to the show when I was a freshman in college, and my school was putting it on, and I was new, and I was like, I was in theater in high school, I'll do this. And I remember I brought the script home and started reading it out loud to my roommates, and they were like freaking out, like, why are you saying these words? And I ended up auditioning for the show, but I didn't get a part. And I never even really thought about it again until I was in grad school, and they were going to do a show, and I auditioned, and was a lot more comfortable with the material by then, and just loved it. And every year I get more and more comfortable with it. Now nothing phases me.
Reporting live for the iPulse in the International Building, this is Sophia Barrett.
Anyone who's in a competitive family can relate to this story. Last week, 2 Lynn baseball players played against their own siblings on the opposite team. We take you out to the ballgame for the story.
Good evening, I'm Stephanie Venegas, and we are currently reporting live from St. Thomas University. We're currently playing a baseball game against their team. This is the first time in history that we will see this happening. We have 2 guys on our team, Leo Carrillo and Andres Colon. Their brothers are playing in the St. Thomas team. This is the first time the 2 brothers are going to go head-to-head against their own brothers. This should be an interesting outcome. Let's see how they play.
On Wednesday, February 22nd, the Lynn baseball team played a history-making game against St. Thomas University. It was the first time that 2 of Lynn's players had ever rivaled against their own brothers on the opposing team.
Definitely, it should be an interesting thing to see. It's definitely a win-win for both of us. However, I'm sure that they're going to have their own opinions about who actually won, lost, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, it's the first time they're playing against each other, which is interesting, but it's good at the same time. They're actually supporting each other and everything, and I guess we'll see how the game goes.
Are they very competitive?
Yes, very competitive, which is surprising how they're being so supportive with each other.
Lynn played a really tough game from beginning to end, keeping their heads held high the entire outing. In the end, Lynn left with a loss that will always be on their record, but also gained an experience that will forever be remembered.
Interesting, it's like the first time in history that we did that, so I was actually excited.
Were you competitive against each other?
Not really, we didn't really play against each other.
But how did it feel to lose against your brother,
Actually,
or win against your
Good,
brother?
because I always lose to him in every sport, so
It felt
good. I got the bragging rights today.
In the end, we witnessed two players, Leo Carrillo and Andres Colon, playing against their own brothers in the St. Thomas University team, Alex Carrillo and Steven Colon. It was the first time we got to witness this. Even though we lost against St. Thomas, it was a tough loss, and we definitely held it in there. This is Stephanie Venegas reporting from Lynn University.
Staying with sports, last week both the men and women's basketball teams had their senior nights. For players who are graduating, iPulse took to the court to talk to some of the seniors.
Last Wednesday, Lynn University held their annual men's and women's basketball senior night, where Lynn recognizes them for all their hard work and dedication during their time here. We had the chance to catch up with these seniors and ask them about their best experience during their time here and how they felt about this bittersweet night. How does it feel that this is your last home game at Lynn University?
It's, I have mixed feelings. I'm excited just because of all the accomplishments that me and my teammates have had over the last 5 years that I've been here, but it's also, it's sad just because I know that it's close to the end.
What's been the best experience of playing with Lynn?
The best experience I've had playing with Lynn is probably just all the road trips and bonding that I've had with my teammates and just getting to know all the guys over the course of my time here and building friendships with them.
Well, the best experience probably here at Lynn was the camaraderie that I experienced with all my teammates throughout all the 4 years. Like, players came, players left. I was always sad to see people leaving, but it was always very joyful to see when new players came in here and to build new relationships.
All right. And how do you feel about this being your last home game?
Well, it being the last home game is quite sad, but it's been a long journey. It was a very interesting experience here for me with Lynn basketball, and hopefully it will be a big win tonight.
I'm kind of sad because I know the end is coming soon, but I'm also excited because we have a chance one more time, play in front of our fans and show how good we are.
All right. What's been the best experience for you?
I met so many people here. Fans were great in the last 4 years, and coaches, I have to thank the coaches, all my teammates for this great 4 years I had here. So.
Best experience I have to say would be playing at Florida my freshman year. I was super nervous, but it was a great experience. I was playing in front of 10,000 fans. It was nuts. So that was probably my best experience.
Michael, how do you feel about this being your last home game?
In all honesty, I'm a little sad. You know what I mean? I've been here for a long time. And I put a lot into this program, into this university, so I'm a little sad, but it is what it is.
It's kind of mixed, it feels good, but then it's bad. It went by real quick, so, there's a lot of good memories here, and hopefully tonight's not the last night.
All right. And what was your best experience for you?
Actually, I had a couple of good experiences, but my best experience was probably when we lost to Barry this year at Barry, and we came back and we beat them. So that was probably my best experience, beating Barry.
My best experience at Lynn is when I first got recruited here my freshman year. And this is now my 4th year, my last year, of course. And I'm just glad that I had the opportunity and the privilege to be even playing here and even going to this school.
How do you feel about this being your last home game?
It was a lot of emotions going on, but I'm glad that I had the opportunity to play here home, my last home game with my teammates. And I'm just happy I had the support, and everybody, all the fans came out to support. And I'm just happy that this was my last home game. Even though it was a loss, but all the emotion and intensity that was going on, it was perfect. I could have it no better way.
All of these seniors have had terrific careers here, and they certainly will be missed on the court. This is Brandon RPL reporting for Beyond the Brief.
As we mentioned last week, the annual Delray Beach Tennis Championships is going on for 10 days, and Lynn University is heavily involved with filming and production. One of the highlights of the tennis championships is all of the super tall tennis players. Let's take a closer look.
Of late, it seems the ATP has become the land of the giants, with a host of players topping out at over the 6.5-foot mark. The 2012 Delray Beach International Tennis Championships is no exception, so we decided to take a moment to talk to some of today's top tennis titans.
We're with Ilo Karlovic, tennis player from Croatia. He stands at 6'10", and he's the tallest player on the ATP Tour.
Hi, John. There's quite a few of you. I think there's about half a dozen other players that are 6'5" or taller. I believe you're 6'10".
I'm Andreas Siljeström, and I'm from Stockholm, Sweden. I'm, I think, 6'8".
Kevin Anderson, How tall are you? 6'8", 6'9", I would guess?
Well, to be exact, I'm 6'7.5".
We're here with Marian Cilic, and he's one of the tallest players on tour. He is 6'6" tall.
All right, Bernard, welcome.
In my case, that helps me for a bigger serve, easier. You can see easier over the net.
I think low balls are naturally tougher for bigger guys.
The big disadvantage has been the movement, the positioning.
It's tough to move in the swim nose, and the tall players like say me and Anderson and Evo, it's tough to move.
Of course, we're not as quick as some of the smaller guys. The disadvantage is you're not as fast in running and also not as fast in coming back.
When I go internationally, I normally fly business class. I try to get the extra row, and they're usually, then the people usually feel sorry for me, and most of the times I get it.
If you have to travel in the airplane, you know, it is not easy.
When you are in a big group of people, you always can see where the other ones are.
One thing, I guess the funny thing, because people ask me all the time, is, you know, if I play basketball. You know, I'm from South Africa. Basketball is getting a little bit more popular then, but, you know, when I grew up, there was hardly a basketball court in the whole country.
No, I get it. I get asked quite a lot. People, you know, if I don't run across a tennis fan who knows who I am, people either assume I play basketball or they'll come up to me and ask if I play.
I do. You know, a lot of tall guys get asked that, and especially when you travel and the other side of the world. You know, people ask you a basketball player and this and that. And I think they're only referring to why you're that tall.
When you come to the States, I probably get it about 10 to 15 times per day.
When people see me in sport clothes, they always ask me, am I a basketball player? So that counts quite often.
You can look up to all these players and more at this year's tournament, so don't miss the action at the Delray Beach International Tennis Championships.
Well, it's hard to believe that spring break begins starting this weekend. iPulse took to the campus walkways to find out what everyone's plans are.
Spring break is coming up, and Lynn students are ready to have fun in the sun.
Today we're going around campus asking people about their plans for the upcoming week.
I'm staying at Lynn University because it's much cheaper and the food is included.
Having like kind of a staycation down here in Boca.
Well, I'm staying at Lynn and I'm gonna work at my job at Eco Yogurt in Fort Lauderdale.
I usually stay here and I enjoy the Florida sun.
Everyone's coming down here to party, so it's close by to all the beaches. Why not stay here?
So spending time with some honeys in South Beach will definitely be my favorite, drinking some lemonade. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to go to the beach for sure, maybe surf, and just lay back, actually. What about you?
I love the parties and the people. Yeah.
I'm going home for spring break, and I chose that because I want to see my family.
I'm going to Ecuador. I'm gonna see my friends and family.
See my parents and my brothers.
I'll be enjoying the beach, sunshine.
Having time off for myself, going to the beach, hanging out, enjoying life.
Not being on campus.
I enjoy going home, being home with family and friends.
Well, for spring break this year, we're going big or going home. Me and my boys in the Del fraternity are gonna go down and hit up Key West. You know, we don't mess around, we don't play.
I'm going to Brazil. Gonna go to Brazil with my friend. Just gonna see new culture, new lifestyle, you know, everything. It's gonna be really cool.
I am going to Colorado with my friend Erica, and I chose it because we're going to a concert, and we're really excited to go.
For spring break, I'm going to Boulder, Colorado, and I'm really excited because I get to like leave and go to a new place where with like, whoa, I can't do this, you guys.
I'm either going to the Dominican Republic or I'm laying in bed.
Laying in bed.
Yes.
You know, this girl's wild.
I'm going to go see my parents, definitely.
It's a week where I can just do nothing but relax and just hang out with my friends I don't usually get to see that are back home. So it's nice to catch up on old times.
Relaxing by the beach.
Panama City, Florida. It's like one of the top college spring break places in America, so we're gonna have a good time.
Get back and see family and be with them and enjoy yourself. So, I think we all need a break from the studies, professors and students as well. And got to learn to enjoy life as well.
If you're yet to plan your vacation, now you know plenty of things you can do.
This was Francesco Giannone.
And Jennifer Murillo for Beyond the Brief.
I'm looking forward to it a lot, although I will miss Lynn. Thank you. Goodbye.
I know we're both excited for spring break. I know you have some fun plans.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to the Keys. What are you doing?
I'm going to head up to Delray, see the best family in the world.
Well, that sounds like fun, and I hope you and everyone else has an amazing but safe spring break. We will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.